All right. What is up, YouTube? It's EURUSD here with the weekly outlook video breaking down EU, GU, and gold. And I know, I've been pretty dead for the past few weeks or even a month. I don't think I've actually posted an actual post in quite some time. But I am inactive for good reason. I'm not just randomly dead. I'm still alive. It's just that I've been really putting more time and effort into my grades because, for those of you who don't know, I am currently in my final semester of university. I'm taking a double major in accounting and finance, and yeah, I've just been doing my own stuff. I told myself that if I don't have excess time or energy to post stuff, I wouldn't force it. So hence the inactivity. But I promise I'm not dead. If you shoot me a DM, I'm still going to reply you. It might be a bit slow, but I'm still active on there, and I'm planning to return once I get more free time. I actually just submitted a finance assignment, and I'm on a week's break next week. It's my tuition week, so I just figured I'd push out something for this week, and hopefully I can get more time to kind of like post more stuff in the weeks to follow. But essentially, yeah, I've been pretty dead. I have had people ask me if I'm still offering services, and yeah, my one-on-ones are still ongoing, although the times may be a bit hard to shift and schedule because of just how busy I am, but they're still ongoing. I've had a few in the past couple of weeks. My Discord channel is still up and running, so yeah, just hit me up if you're interested. But okay, anyway, that was a long waffle. Let's just get straight into the video. So I'll be breaking down 3 pairs that I always had: EU, GU, and gold. I did think of adding in US30 or Bitcoin, but I haven't really looked at either of those to kind of like understand correctly or accurately, at least to say, on how they act. So I just thought I'd just keep them for later. So yeah, so first up is EU, and essentially on the H4 is where we are right now. So essentially for almost the entire month we've been kind of like this bearish leg. So I'm actually expecting this bearish leg to still continue, or this bearish trend to continue. We came up into something within here. We actually reacted off of this inset bar range. I think we did sweep it by a bit right here. Yeah, we did. And then we saw this huge dump right here. So for next week, what I'm expecting is I'm playing within this range. I think we had this order flow range, this pullback, this leg, but this leg in itself is really sketchy in the sense that it was so efficient, it's so efficient and rangy that I just kind of took this entire thing as one leg. So this is currently the range we're playing in, and anything within this is my swing M15. This is my swing M15 as well. So this is the high and low that we're playing in. So currently we are reacting to this H4 supply, and this is what could be inducement. We set this and now we're heading bearish again on the H4. So as of the moment, I'm expecting price to kind of like play out this mini range in itself. It could come down into this bullish demand on the H4 for that push up, or we could just see this reaction before that push upwards, and then you could head higher into some of these zones right here, like maybe this inside bar supply, or this this supply chain. I'd say if it does come out to it, it could act as a supply chain. But either way, for next week, for Monday at least, we could see something like this happen, or we could just turn bearish overall. The market's been really bad. If that's what you've noticed, it's definitely not just you. It's been pretty shit. So yeah, it's not just you. And fundamentally, I think if you were to go online and just kind of look at recent news, you will actually see that it's not looking too great for the US and the pound, which is UK obviously. So yeah, I've been thinking of actually replacing GU with GJ, because I've been looking at GJ for quite some time now. I just haven't really traded it, and I thought I want to diversify my risk, in the sense that if the USD is shit and really hard to trade, high chance that EU and GU are highly correlated because they both have USD in it. So maybe if I remove the pound dollar to something like the pound yen, maybe, you know, I could have a better pair to trade when the USD is just acting up. But that's just me. But we'll see. So essentially, on the M15, let me just pull this out real quick. On the M15, we kind of came up to this supply. We kind of had, maybe you could say this is inducement because we came up, swept it, and then we saw an order flow change. We did sweep something here as well in the initial reaction. We swept that, came up, swept that again, and now we're seeing supply respect. So essentially, we switched bearish on top here, and we're coming down. I mean, we have come down here at least to something within here. This is the fair value, the 50% of this entire range. Sorry. So you could see something like a push move outwards to continue downwards, and if it does, I will be looking for a reaction from this H4 zone, which is also an M15 inside bar range that was responsible for this sweep right here. Do sweat that. So yeah, so for Monday at least, maybe we could see a push down. I don't think we may turn bullish so quickly. I think we need something more of a catalyst to go bullish from here, but definitely we might turn bullish, but I think we need to come down here into this H4 zone to turn bullish. But before that, we might see a mitigation of the supply chain to go down. This is part of the supply chain. This, however, has not set liquidity, so maybe we could see build up right here before that sweep to go down into more discounted pricing. Of course, we could also just start turning bullish right now. In that case, I would look for a pullback into a continuation to come up with something here and then sell off maybe if it, you know, comes into it. Keep in mind that this inside bar supply currently has no liquidity to support it. So yeah, we'll just wait and see what happens. So either this, so maybe something like this will happen, or something like this will happen. Depends on what the market wants to do, of course. But if we do go up higher, I would take that as a break of structure, and we might see bullish continuations until, you know, something higher, because you could be seeing something like this at the moment. So as long as this swing structure hasn't been taken, technically we are still, you know, bullish essentially. So that's all for EU next week. Let's go to GU. Right, so it's GU for our second pair. We are on H4 as well. So thank God we did have that bullish correction, because this is just horrible. There was nothing to trade. Even back here, there's nothing to trade even. So, but anyway, so for what happened essentially was that we kind of, at the start of October, we saw price come up and we saw it sweep, kind of like these stacked highs right here. And then it's a sweep because after that failure to close above, we saw an order flow shift bearish in this leg right here. So essentially, I am still expecting price to kind of turn bullish because it's kind of similar to EU, but it's kind of more obvious here in this kind of like potential move bullish. So I'm still expecting an overall bullish narrative at the moment. But intraday perspective wise, we did turn bullish right here with this tape. We did kind of like chop bullish, I'd say, essentially, in this move right here. But essentially, we are currently reacting off of a extreme reaction leg to this supply right here. We reacted here, extreme of the reaction leg. This is the reaction to this extreme of the reaction leg, and this is the new extreme of the reaction leg, which is confusing, but it's just reactions upon reactions. So we did see that respect, which is now given us a new intraday range to trade from. But of course, we could kind of see price dip lower. Now this didn't exactly react to anything obvious except this range right here. But if you refine it, it actually did not tap anything. So I would probably say it hasn't really tapped anything obvious. So this may be inducement, but you can't really be sure. So this may be swept sometime next week for something down below here. We do have the initial area where price kind of like took over in terms of bullish pressure in this flip right here. This is not a flip, it's like the extreme of the reaction leg, but there isn't really a flip as well. So it could come down into something here to go up. Let's drag this over. But in the meantime, we could also see price give a reaction here to go long. If this fails, I'll be looking to go short, definitely to take out this structure. But you could also target something within here or this entire range right here for safety purposes. But definitely this has to go if something like this fails, because there's nothing in this leg that's obvious to stop this bearish move downwards. So that's something you could be looking at. And on the M15 though, for Monday, we do have a supply chain building. Now this is like an inside bar demand on the M15. We give a reaction to it, and now we're forming a supply chain. Only issue is that this supply chain could also be a build of liquidity, so you could see this happen, or you could sweep the entire chain and go. So you could sell from somewhere here, but make sure you are okay with the fact that it could be swept, because this is kind of like stacked highs. In a sense, people are looking to get involved in sales around here. So you could see a continuation from here down lower, so into this potential H4 demand. But same thing, this demand has not taken any liquidity, so maybe we have to build something here, or we may have to sweep something upon mitigation to go long. And don't be like too captivated in like this zone in itself. Always remember that there's always something below or above your ideal zones. But this is currently the closest engulf candle, which also broke structure. This is where we saw large volume come in. I am so gassed right now, man. I'm so sorry, but yeah. So this is the last sell to buy candle before this huge bullish move. So this is something you could be looking at. This is an order block, if you say it, and this is the next obvious refined candle. This is probably inducement. Oh, sorry. This is probably inducement. So we'll be looking to see if price comes up to respect supply on the M15 to go down, or if this breaks and I'll go short. If this comes out, maybe you can go short to the next demand zone, and if you show bullish pressure here, you could start to go long from here to go higher, because I'm expecting overall bullish narrative. Yeah, so that is GU. Let's move forward to gold. All right, so this is gold on the H4, and pretty similar to what we saw on GU and EU. We saw a bullish correction into something within premium, and we're seeing this bearish leg now come into play with this break of structure. Yeah, we could see a potential mitigation of something up top, but this is where current price action is, so this is where I follow through with it. So currently we are respecting a H4 demand zone right here, this engulf candle, which is actually a reaction to this larger range. Price kind of showed reactions to this zone as well, but then they ultimately failed. I'm pretty sure this was news. So yeah, so either way, we swept this structure point up top, and then we broke this to come into here, which we are not currently showing respect. So we are heavily bearish on gold, so I'm still expecting this bearish trend to continue until we hit something, or we start to see more sustained order flow in terms of bullish pressure. So for next week, I'm expecting a remitigation of something up top to come down into the extreme right here, and we might see a push upwards as a catalyst for this right here. We could see this act as a catalyst actually to go higher. So essentially, I would be looking to play shorts into longs, and from these longs we determine if I continue to go short from here if this fails, or if we start to see bullish pressure come in that case, you could actually hold some of your cells and not hard TP if you want, because let's just say it kind of like breaks down and goes lower, you would be kind of well priced. But I would still say to take off something at least at this zone, you know, or something like that. This is a really large, this is obviously news, but essentially we swept something up top, you come down, this gives us a really good, and it's really big, it's like 100 plus pips, so it's a really large zone to trade from. But if it does come out here, there's a high chance that we're gonna see a drop in reaction right here, and we also kind of have like these M15 highs acting as potential liquidity, so we could see a drop. There's nothing exactly obvious within this entire leg. This does stand out to me as pretty obvious, so we could of course give a reactions to go down to take this out and then to go high again. So you could look to sell from here. Only issue is that it's right below all of these zones right here, and it also isn't really that important. It's just like a random candle, I'd say. So yeah, essentially that's what I'm looking for on gold. Just a really simple, not trying to over forecast too much, just the general picture and zones to look at. But yeah, you could also like look to take longs on Monday morning or when the market opens, essentially for me. And yeah, to kind of go long into potential shorts, or if it fails, then you can scale into here and target liquidity, target zones, and then hedge from here. So I kind of like preach just zone to zone basis. I don't like try to over forecast on structure and stuff like that. I just, because zones they've been like what makes it really prevalent for me to look at. I notice I kind of like spot zones a lot more better compared to like structure. So I just kind of like not complicate structure. I don't complicate any of these stuff, just draw really obvious zones and just stick to them. You could hit something random and go, but like I don't really care at that point, because I think you'll be a lot happier by just not trying to think if it will react to something random, but just kind of like focus on what you can control. And in this case, what you can control is choosing just really obvious and zones that you would think have a high chance of playing out, and just draw less and focus on those zones. And that's really helped me cut down on the noise and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel pretty gassed because I'm pretty full from food right now. So if you hear me pause while talking, that's why. I promise I'm not sick. I'm just kind of like gassed out right now. I want to burp, but I can't burp, essentially stuck in there. So yeah, I don't know if these outlook videos will be consistent as I promised them to, but I'll try to make one, you know, obviously every week if I can. But yeah, take care, stay safe, trade safe essentially. So trade with a brain, don't buy into any FOMO, don't buy into any baseless assumptions, and just trade your data, trade your edge. Yeah, cool. I'll see you guys next week or next time that we meet. Peace.